boy.
Hey, Duncan, can I trust you with something?
Yes, always. You know that.
I've been having dreams about a girl on Arrakis. I don't know what it means.
Dreams make good stories. But everything important happens when we're awake.
Dune has been such a long time coming to cinemas. What was it like for you to finally get to see it with a crowd on the big screen?
Magic, amazing, like more than I could ever have thought that it would mean to me. It was phenomenal.
There's so many moments of this movie where I was on the edge of my seat. Obviously, in terms of this sheer scale of what I'm watching on the screen, what was the most challenging moment or scene for you to film in Dune?
The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
What's in the box?
Pain.
The Litany of Fear, I think. The scene outside the Gom Jabbar test with Charlotte Rampling. It was hard because find the nuances. There were so many emotions that Jessica went through outside that door. You know, she brings her son in front of a test where the outcome can be death. And she is also the one standing as a bodyguard to make sure no one goes in to save her son if he screams out in too much pain. And yet she's a mother loving her child, protecting and putting him in the most harmful of positions. And the Litany of Fear, I think, is just so beautiful. It's like, accept the things you cannot change. You know, there are moments where even the strongest and toughest can't control the outcome.
There's so many storylines in this movie that I think people are going to fall in love with, so many characters, and it's so rich with secondary characters. Who did you find yourself sort of falling in love with or becoming more interested in as you watched the movie?
Let's fight like demons.
Jason Momoa was, for me, I mean, everyone, it's so hard. It's so hard in this one to pick a person. But Jason for me just stood out because he had another swagger to him. He had another energy. He was someone who just made it okay to just enjoy, you know? There was a happiness, there was a warmth, a kindness, a big brotherness to him. There's so many intense characters, you know, like the Baron Harkonnen, Stellan. For me, wonderful because it's Swedish, so it just felt wonderful to be close to him. David Desmalchin, who is often reoccurring in Denis films, especially Prisoners, and now Suicide Squad, but such a cool character, such a cool guy. And then Josh Brolin and Oscar Isaac, who is like the biggest bromance in the world. And it's so hard to get even a word in when they're around, and yet they feel like the coolest kids on the block. So you try and push yourself into their discussions just to feel like you've been chosen in school gym.
This is a real world building. We're building out a universe here. I think there'll be young people that will discover this. They will devour the books. They'll be hungering for what's next. And what's that like for you to be part of something that's going to land so personally with so many people?
Kind of, it's coming to me now, that realization. When I film, Oscar Isaac and I were talking about it. We never put that weight on our shoulders. I just don't. It just doesn't work with me. I can't look at the anxiety and I would be on so much drugs, dude, if I would have to look at that. I'd be so anxious, to be honest. And now what I feel talking to you all, journalists, basically, because it's the only people who have seen it, the love, either you're lying or you're loving it. And that's a really lovely feeling. It's very warm. It's very embracing because I loved making this film. I loved being a part of this world. And I can't see it doing it with anyone else than Denis and the cast that he has. And if this means that we've opened the world to something that might, you know, become cultural for the future, that would be, I mean, to be a part of something like that is extraordinary. To have little figurines made out of your character because people love you and that character so much. It's not even a compliment. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it separately from me being in it. I love it.
I think people will get to the end of this, and obviously immediately the next thought is part two. What are your hopes for part two? What are your dreams about part two? How often are you calling Denny and asking him when you can read those pages?
I don't even know if he's written pages. I have no idea. I literally have no idea how he works in a situation. I'm very respectful to his process, even though he's one of my closest friends now. I don't want to jinx something. It's a very sensitive procedure. He wanted to make this film divided into two, and he got that possibility. I mean, to have written and to decide the second one without you guys enjoying it and doing good reviews and people going to see it, the heartache, the pain of assuming something that doesn't happen. I don't know if he would put himself, I don't know. I call him all the time. Like, I'm like, and to be honest, I haven't read the whole book. I've read further, and I've seen the previous Dune. So I do know kind of what happens, but I haven't sat down and read it. I do want to ride a sand one. That's for damn sure.